Good afternoon, I'm Jared Waters live from Fort Lauderdale Airport as we welcome home a brave victim of injustice. Yes, he's an active MS-13 gang member with the rap sheet longer than Epstein's client list. But hey, we all make mistakes, right? Mr. Garcia.
Mira.
Hola, senor.
Hola, gringo.
Welcome home.
Gracias.
And now that you're back, what's next for you?
I'm going to go back to work, pay taxes, matar gente con la pandilla.
Sounds to me like you're going to be an active, contributing member of this society.
Sí.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Gracias,
I
gracias.
appreciate you. Oh my God. What is this?
Se jodió. Formula for the baby.
Oh,
America, we've got a major corruption scandal breaking in Arizona. Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs is under investigation for what appears to be a classic pay-to-play scheme. She allegedly directed millions of taxpayer dollars to a foster care provider that donated $400,000 to her campaign and state Democrat Party. And now, both Attorney General and state lawmakers are demanding answers.
Group home Sunshine Residential Homes is also part of this investigation. According to published reports, the organization is a big donor to the governor and the state Democratic Party. Over the past couple of years, Sunshine gave around $400,000 in donations to two different entities. About $100,000 of that went directly into the governor's inaugural fund in December 2022. About a month before Hobbs was sworn into office.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is the kind of corruption that Democrats accuse Republicans of. But here we have it in black and white. Governor Hobbs took $400,000 from a foster care provider, then magically approved a 60% rate increase while denying increases for other providers. If this isn't a quid pro quo, I don't know what is. Let me break this down for you. Sunshine Residential Homes, a foster care provider in Arizona, donated approximately $400,000 to Katie Hobbs and the Arizona Democrat Party. About $100,000 of that went directly into Katie Hobbs' inauguration fund in December 2022, just 1 month before she took office.
In return, Hobbs is accused of directing the Department of Child Services to approve a nearly 60% increase in the daily rate that Sunshine Home charges to care for children. The report also claims other child providers were denied increases. Republican State Senator T.J. Shope said the report prompted him to ask Attorney General Chris Mays and the Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell to investigate.
Then in office, Hobbs allegedly directed the Department of Child Services to approve a nearly 60% increase in daily rates that Sunshine charges to care for children. Meanwhile, other providers were denied similar increases. This isn't just favoritism, it's potentially criminal.
Katie Hobbs is under active investigation for allegations of bribery, fraud, conspiracy, and racketeering as state officials and lawmakers are looking into her administration's financials. The investigation is based on accusations that Hobbs and other Democrats in the state dished out millions in taxpayer dollars to Sunshine Residential Homes in exchange for $400,000 in bribes.
The allegations are serious enough that Republican Senator T.J. Swoops has asked both Attorney General and Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell to investigate. And the Attorney's General Office has already confirmed they're taking the lead on this investigation.
The reality is that we're not a prosecutorial entity, the legislature. We have a prosecutor in the county. We have a prosecutor in the state. They have criminal divisions and civil divisions. They're going to go ahead and take a look at this and determine whether or not there is a there.
In response, Mays' office sent a letter this afternoon to Mitchell's office alerting them that the AG's office will investigate this issue, not the county attorney.
But wait, it gets worse. As if a pay-to-play scheme wasn't bad enough, one of Hobbs' own employees at the Arizona Department of Agriculture was just arrested for human smuggling. Human trafficking. This guy was literally wearing his government uniform while charging migrants thousands of dollars to transport them across the border.
His name was Joshua Castro, and he was a fairly low level at the Arizona Department of Agriculture. A records check tells us he was a food inspector at or near the Nogales border with a salary of $44,000 a year, and he was wearing his uniform when he was arrested. But he is accused of charging a Mexican man $12,000 for a ride in a car north from the border and charging another man about $7,500.
That's right. A state employee under Governor Hobbs was caught red-handed smuggling illegal immigrants while on the job. He was charging one migrant $12,000 for rides north of the border. And he was doing this all while wearing his official Arizona Department of Agriculture uniform.
Court records show Castro was arrested north of Nogales on April 10th after Border Patrol agents saw him driving with two passengers in the rear seats of his car. Agents had seen Castro driving in the area the day before and recognized his vehicle. The passengers turned out to be two Mexican citizens who stated they just crossed the border.
Hobbs' office still continues to try to distance himself from this employee, saying that the governor strongly condemns his actions and that it took place outside of work hours in his personal vehicle. But Republican Senator pointed out the obvious hypocrisy here.
Governor Katie Hobbs' office sent us a statement that reads in part, the governor strongly condemns the actions of this former employee, and that this took place outside of work hours in the employee's personal vehicle. Republican State Senator Jake Hoffman sent us a statement that reads in part, it's no wonder Hobbs vetoes every piece of meaningful border security legislation when on her watch, her own state employee is being arrested and prosecuted for human smuggling.
Meanwhile, the financial scandal continues to grow. State records show that under Hobbs' oversight as budget director, $339 million in taxpayer funds have gone missing. And that number has since risen to $350 million, raising even more red flags for lawmakers.
State records show that under Hobbs's oversight as budget director, $339 million in taxpayer funds has gone missing. The missing money was initially reported as a $339 million shortfall, but has since risen to $350 million, raising more red flags for lawmakers.
When confronted about these allegations, Hobbs' response was predictably defense. She claimed this was all a partisan attack and that she was just trying to do what was best for the children in foster care. But if that were true, why would she only approve the rate increase for providers that donated to her campaign?
The governor's office described this as a partisan attack led by Republicans, that Hobbs is a former social worker who only wants to do what's best for children in foster care. In the newsroom, Dennis Welch, Arizona's Family.
So what does this tell us about Governor Hobbs' administration? It shows a consistent pattern of corruption, mismanagement, and hypocrisy. She claims to care about border security while her own employees are smuggling illegal amigos across the border. She claims to care about foster children while directing taxpayer dollars to her campaign donors.
That is all I'm going to say right now.
Hobbs is appealing the ruling. In response, Hoffman, who leads the Arizona Freedom Caucus, issued a statement today that said, in part, it's sad that while the Arizona Freedom Caucus and Republicans in the legislature continue to do the hard work of delivering a government that works for every Arizonan, Katie Hobbs instead resorts to throwing around childish insults and playing immature political games.
Meanwhile, Hobbs is trying to pressure the federal government to release millions in border security funds, claiming that the delay is a risk of national security. But how can we trust her to manage these funds when she's already under investigation for misappropriating taxpayer dollars? And on top of that, her own employees are engaged in human smuggling.
But the Trump administration in court documents says this isn't a pause or delay. Instead, this is a way to make sure that funds aren't being misused. And we've been seeing this go back and forth in the courts for a little bit now in federal courts, but Hobbs says this latest development means a 60 to 90-day delay for that $69 million that goes to agencies in Arizona, like law enforcement agencies.
America, this is a perfect example of the corruption that plagues the Democrat administration across the country. They accuse Republicans of pay-to-play politics while engaging the exact same behavior themselves. They claim to care about border security while their employees are smuggling migrants in government vehicles.
Now, the court paperwork does not tell us how the two Mexicans were able to get across the border. The fence in Nogales is 30 feet tall.
The investigation into Governor Hobbs is just beginning, and I have a feeling we're going to uncover even more corruption as they dig deeper. The missing $350 million alone is a scandal that would end most political careers. But in today's Democrat Party, it seems like corruption is just business as usual. When Democrats accuse Republicans of corruption, it's almost always a projection. They're accusing us of exactly what they're doing themselves. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.